Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with our algebraic reasoning unit. We are now going into inequalities. We did equations last week, now inequalities. An inequality is a mathematical sentence indicating that two quantities are not equal. And how do we represent that? Well, let me show you. Let me share my screen for our notes for this section. All right, inequalities. These may look familiar to you. Greater than and less than. These are considered inequality symbols. We're going to be adding a few others for our use. We have a less than or equal to and a greater than or equal to. And I will go into more detail about what these symbols represent. So let's look at a few examples of each one. The first one is our equal sign. Let's give the example. Your grade is an 83. You're saying that your grade, I'm going to use G for grade, is an 83. Okay? Example of a less than symbol. Remember in elementary school, alligator eats the bigger number, turns away from the smaller number, right? So let's look at some examples here. Your grade is under an 83. Your grade is smaller than an 83. Your grade is lower than an 83. These are some examples of words that you would see that indicate that it's less than. So I'm going to use G again. So your grade is less than an 83. Okay? Look at this example, the greater than. Remember, the mouth is facing the number that's bigger. Your grade is higher than an 83. Your grade is more than an 83. Your grade is over an 83. So your grade is greater than an 83. Okay. Now let's get into some new symbols that you haven't seen before. Let's look at this first one. Less than or equal to. The equal to is this part right here. Think of that equal sign that we just saw up here. The bottom of it is now attached to the inequality. Okay. What does it mean when you see this symbol, less than or equal to? You can make a grade no higher than 100. So that means your grade has to be less than or equal to 100. You can make up to a 100. Again, it has to be less than 100 or equal to 100. The maximum grade you can make is 100, or at the most you can make is 100. So your grade has to be less than or equal to 100 for this inequality to be true. Okay, let's look at this one. Examples of greater or equal to. So here's the greater than symbol, and this is the equal to. Okay, you need to make at least a 70 to pass. So your grade has to be greater than or equal to a 70. The minimum grade to pass is a 70. So our grade has to be greater than or equal to a 70, okay? These symbols also have to be graphed. So let's move on to the next part of our notes. When we're graphing inequalities, not only will we be using those symbols, greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, this one is not equal to. My answer is not equal, okay? You will be using an open circle or a closed circle. The open circle means the answer is not included, and they're usually used with the less than and greater than symbols. The closed circle means that number is part of your answer. So you usually use the greater than or less than equal to symbols for those. Remember, anything to the left of 0 is less than. Anything to the right of 0 is greater than. Okay? So let's see this in action. Children under 6 can ride free. Under means I'm less than. Okay? I need to determine, is it the less than symbol or the less than or equal to symbol. So let's find 6 on my graph right here. Here's 6, okay? It has to be less than 6, we know that. But can they be exactly 6 and ride the ride? Children under 6 ride free. Yeah, so that means they can be 6 years old and still ride. So that means I can use the equal to sign. So the children can be less than or equal to 6 years old. Since I used this inequality symbol, I'm going to use a closed circle above the 6. And we already said that it's less than, so it means our arrow is going to go to the left, indicating that the age of the child can be 6 or less than to ride the ride. Okay, let's look at another one. Children ride free through the age of 6. Children ride free through the age of 6. So can they be 6? Children ride free through age 6. Sounds like they can be 6 and still ride. Children ride free through the age of 6. So can they be greater than 6? No. They can be less than 6 though and still ride. So the child has to be less than or equal to 6 years old. So because I use that inequality symbol, I know that I need to use a closed circle above the 6. And we said it's less than, so my arrow needs to go to the left. Okay, let's look at this one. You must be older than 12 to drive a go-kart. So we're going to start with the number 12 itself. You must be older than 12. So can I be exactly 12 and ride the ride? You must be older than. So I can't be 12. I have to be older. I have to be greater than, right? Greater than is going to the right. And we know if I'm greater than 12, excuse me, my mouth is going to face it, right? So to drive the go-kart, I have to be greater than 12. Because I use this inequality symbol, I need to use an open circle. Open circle means that number is not included in the answer. So greater than means I'm going to the right. So I have to be greater than 12 to ride the ride. I can't be 12, I have to be greater than. All right, let's look at this one. You must be at least 12 to drive the go-kart. Okay, so we're going to ask our question again. Can I be exactly 12 years old and ride it? You must be at least. Yeah, so I can be 12. I have to be 12 or older. So greater than or equal to 12. Because I use this inequality symbol, I need to use a closed circle. The closed circle means that my number is part of the answer. So I have to be 12 or older. So my arrow is going to go to the right. Okay. 4 apples are not equal to 3 mice. Not equal. 4 apples are not equal to 3 mice. So I can't graph it. There's no comparison. But this is the symbol that I would use. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to do some practice with the greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than and equal to symbols, and the open and closed circles. If you need to watch this video again to clear up some things, please do. And please refer to the notes that I also put in your folder for today. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow.